Hi, my friends. Change of scenery. Hi, friends. Good morning. First day of training for my 5K. This is a very short, like 5-minute run, so this should not be that difficult. We shall see. Yeah, so let's go do this. Run number 1 in the books. Only 5 minutes, but that's okay. We're doing this, guys. We're doing this. Day 2 in the books. That was much harder than yesterday, obviously, because we went from 5 minutes to like 27 minutes intervals. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong. So, day 2 in the books. The way I did not want to run that run today, but no surprise, I feel so much better having done so. It really is truly amazing the impact of just doing the workout even when you don't think that you want to. So, I've got to find a better setup for this though, because this whole like just carrying my phone around this feels unprofessional. So, all right, friends, we'll catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow is a rest day for me, so it'll be a lift only and no run. I think my next my next workout is another interval run, if I'm not mistaken. All right, bye, friends. What's up, guys? Oh, you want to join me? Okay, hi. But I wanted to participate. What's up, guys? So today was a lift only day. Tomorrow I have a 7-minute recovery run. So today I did leg day. I actually decided to use like ChatGPT basically to help me program by lifting. So we'll see how that kind of goes. I'll play with that for a couple of weeks and see if I like it that way. But yeah, so today was leg day. I decided to do a Caroline 40-minute video on the app. And then tomorrow is my 7-minute recovery run. And then I believe after that, my next run is a speed run again. But anyway, just checking in. All is well here. And yeah, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Bye. Well, hello, my friends. Here we are, another day, another workout. This morning I did my upper body workout, and my goal/plan is to try to make my speed run happen today. Originally, I was going to do my 7-minute recovery run, which is kind of what's scheduled, but I think I'd like to try to go ahead and get my speed run out of the way and then do the recovery run because my long run is on Monday and today is Saturday. So I think I'd rather my legs be a little more rested. I don't think it's going to be that significant of a difference, but I think that's the thing I'm going to attempt today. So we will see how that goes, but upper body is in the books. So far, the 3 days a week schedule for lifting, I think is going to work out nicely into my running routine, but it's definitely one of those things where if you are short on time, you definitely have to like pick and choose. So it's much harder to like schedule around, and if it weren't for the fact that my son was in school, I think it would be harder for me to work all these different workouts in. So anyway, I will catch back with you later when I make a decision about my run, and we'll run a little together, and I'll see you later. Friends, we meet again. It's the afternoon portion where I run. I did make the decision today to go ahead and do my my speed run as opposed to the 7-minute recovery. I'll do that tomorrow. Well, friends, run 2 in the books. We did it. Yeah, so feeling good. It was hotter today, so I was a little more tired, but I feel good about it. The interesting thing about running and, changing the exercises, I've noticed one of the things about myself that I've noticed, I'm interested to see if some of you guys knows about yourselves. I find that my mindset around different even kinds of exercise is different. And so I find that when I feel like I've overcome a mental barrier in one form of exercise, I find that sometimes in other areas of exercise, I still hold that mental barrier, which I find fascinating, both just as a human and also as a mental health provider, that like a belief that I hold that I have dispelled in one area of my life, I still hold in another. And being aware of that, it's fascinating. And so for me, I've for many, many years called myself a non-runner. And so it's interesting to see the impact of that mindset, because at the end of the day, yes, it's a different type of exercise, but it's in some ways no different. So I challenge you, as I'm challenging myself, to notice where your mental barriers are that you've overcome in some areas, and see if you carry that mental barrier in a different part of your life. And that might be a different kind of exercise. That might be, you know, a different area of your life, like in parenthood or in singlehood, or, you know, as a partner. I challenge you to examine your belief system. Sorry, you get the therapist today. All right, my friends. Well, that was a far more methodical and what's the word I'm looking for? Thoughtful run than I expected. So I guess Coach Bennett brings it out in me. But I'll see you guys tomorrow for my 7 minutes. Okay, friends, got 7 minutes today. I can do this. I'm gonna crank some pink. Yes, I said pink. And do this. So let's go. I really don't feel like doing this. I really don't. Okay. That is all. The literal second I pressed play on my run, it started to rain. And I thought to myself, you know, I'm just gonna quit today. I will try again later and see if it decides to cooperate later. And then I thought, no, I'm gonna have the same attitude for running that I have for lifting. I'm gonna do it anyway, because there's absolutely no reason I can't run in a little rain. A little rain never hurt anybody, and so that's what I did. And it didn't rain for very long. It only rained for like the first minute of my very short 7-minute run. So same attitude, different location. Remember that. All right, my friends, I'll catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow is my long run, so I'm probably gonna go somewhere fun to do that long run. So I'm probably gonna go somewhere fun to do that. All right, catch you then. All right, my friends, change of scenery today, and gonna go run a mile. My longest run thus far, which for runners is that's not very far, but for non-runners, some of you might be like me, and a mile feels reminiscent of the things you hated in gym class. So, but as I reminded my son, great mind, great day. So I'm going to do the same thing. Good attitude, good run. So let's go do this. Take on the run. It's 1 mile in the books, my friend. I was going to sit on that bench over there, but it's wet. So I'm not going to do that, even though I'm kind of wet. It's very humid today, so sweat doesn't really work super great, but here we are. We're done. We made it to the finish line. I'm using Nike Run Club, and this week's runs have all been, and I don't know if they will continue to be, Coach Bennett. He's very motivating, for sure. So anyway, so here we are. 1 mile all the way through. No stopping. That was my goal, was to not stop. And I didn't stop, so I'm feeling proud. Tomorrow is a rest day. When I get home today, I'm going to show you that journal, because a couple of you had asked me some questions about it. And I've been playing with it a little bit. I haven't done a ton of writing in it, I'll be honest. But I want to show you some of the features they have. They were nice enough to send it to me in PR. So yeah, I will catch you guys in a little while. So I'm in my kitchen drinking some coffee. Y'all want to hear a quick and embarrassing story? This angle is terrible, but it's fine. It's an embarrassing story. I can't believe I'm telling this to the internet, but here it is. So when I was in college, I did actually used to run on a treadmill as my primary form of running in college, because college student, and I would run at night, which, thinking about that now, probably really jacked up my sleep. But when you're in your 20s, you don't care about these things. And so I used to go all the time with my roommate, my college roommate, and she and I would go down to our apartment complex, and we would run on the treadmill, and we would run usually a mile, sometimes more than that, but we would just sort of co-run on the 2 treadmills that they had in this extremely tiny gym. I really wish I had B-roll of this somewhere to show you, but I definitely don't. Anyway, so one day I'm running, and I fall. I'm not paying attention, and I literally slide/fall off the treadmill. Now, that's bad, but what's worse is that I got back on while it was still moving to try to turn it off and fell again. Of course, my roommate is like laughing her head off because, of course, why wouldn't you? Thankfully, I was not hurt. I should have been much more hurt, but thankfully, I was not hurt. Anyway, so there's a funny story about running for you that came to my mind as I was running my mile today. That's what popped into my head, so I'm sharing it with you. Cheers to embarrassing stories. Share your embarrassing stories in the comments if you feel comfortable doing so. Now let me go show you this this thing you guys have been asking about. In a mess. This is my son's desk. He got a bottle of glue knocked over. Just all the things. Okay, so here's my favorite thing about this so far. So this is the Fitness and Food Pro. So that's what this one, they have a bunch of different kinds though. They were nice enough to send this to me in PR, like I said, so I did not pay for this journal. But I thought it'd be really great for my 5K training. So what I've done here is I've been trying to kind of decide, and I use the help of ChatGPT. It says the thing is upside down, but it's not. I use the help of ChatGPT to sort of like help me program. And so, so far I just have like my first week of runs in here, and I ended up doing a speed run instead of a recovery on this day, which will probably end up happening here too, but just to sort of show myself like what the plan is for the week. So here we are today. Tomorrow will be a rest day. This is what we did today, and so I know that my next workout will be a full body lift and a 10-minute recovery run. So that's just sort of, I'm following the Nike Run Club app. But it also has these little sections here of like most important goals. I really just have the one this month. My goal really is just to prioritize my 5K training and make that like my big thing, but you could include more than one. As I've mentioned before, I like goal setting, but I have a whole video on why you actually should do something else other than set goals. I won't spoil that video for you. I'll just link it. But goals are never a bad thing. And then things I'll do better this month. I didn't have a last month. But I said for health and fitness, I want to focus on my running mindset. You've probably noticed a theme in this video. In self-care, I want to prioritize rest more because I have more free time now and I want to do a better job of like prioritizing my rest. And my fun/recreation is I'd like to get to the gym and go to a Zumba class more frequently. So there's the thing. So it does have like a macros for a common food macro. So if you're a person who likes to, track your food manually and you don't want to use like a calorie calculator of some kind, that's cool. And then it does have starting points. I haven't made time to go through this yet. I need to take some photos and fill out the like measurement section here because I'd really like to, have some measurements for the start of my 5K training. And then again, just my goal for this one really is to, train for the 5K. Those are my top goals right now. I don't have any others, but you certainly could. It gives you the option for up to 5. And then the other thing is at the end of the month, you have your monthly review. So you can, again, track those measurements for yourself versus last month. Now, depending on the month and depending on what you're doing, you may or may not see a huge difference. A scale of 1 to 10, how you feel about yourself in each of these areas. And then you have the like monthly review, the biggest wins, how you're feeling about your progress, any areas you're lacking, and then there's a little like wheel here, and then how to improve next month. And so you get that same format for 6 months. And then the other thing that's in here, which is cool, I have not yet used this, but especially if you are a person who plans and does your own workouts, or if you're like a person trying to track your online workouts and you don't use something like a Whoop or something, this is really cool. So it talks about just all this mess, the muscle group, start time, warm up, cool down, supplements. It gives you like a way to track all of these different things, and then it has like each exercise and then the reps and the weight. So you can put your whole workout in here if you wanted to. I think that's really cool. And then you also have on this side a calorie tracker. So again, if you're not somebody who wants to track in an app or something, and maybe you just want both. Some people like that kind of stuff. And then cardio. That's it for now. That was longer than I intended, so I'm probably gonna cut most of that out. But wanted to show you that super quick. And yeah. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.